My name is May Hong. I am the speaking voice of Mira from K-pop Demon Hunters, and this is Moana Nui podcast. Signing off. Happy fans. Do it with me. Happy fans. Happy Hon.
Hi, I'm Tyra Burton. Welcome to, I don't know what panel I'm on anymore. I should know. No, that was early. Building fan communities. I should have known it with these lovely fan community people all around me. So I'm going to start off by telling you about our track sponsor. And this is an organization, it's a charity. We're helping to raise money for them, but they help support us and they're great. Over 22 years around, they've been empowering lives through disaster relief, food distribution, orphan care, and more. They're really awesome. They take care of kids. And their top-notch ratings from Charity Navigator and BBB Wise Giving Alliance means that you know your contributions actually go in to do the things they say they're doing. So you can find out more about them at zakat.org, zakat.org, and there's QR codes on the table to donate online. I don't know where that is. But anyway, no, these are different. So let's get down to some Dragon Con business. Is this kind of... Okay. Oh, my God. Old-fashioned stuff. So if you have old-fashioned ways of donating, we do take cash in the bucket. There are $2 whole. But on the left-hand side of this table is a QR code, and you can donate to our charity for the year, which is the Arthritis Foundation Georgia chapter. I don't know if you know, but arthritis is the #1 cause of disability throughout the United States. Over 60 million adults are impacted by arthritis, and hundreds of thousands of kids are as well. It's probably the one disease that we can all think of that we know somebody has it or we have it ourselves. So Dragon's Con is going to match up to $125,000. We did better than that last year. We got all the $125,000 and went extra. They raised $272,000 last year for cure childhood cancer. Let's at least do that this year. How many of you walked here? Okay, so you've already walked a 5K. Get a medal for it, okay? Donate to the charity at the same time. You can even pick up your medal before you leave in the Marriott. And more importantly, when you do that, they're going to ask you your favorite track. It's the digital media track, because Tyra has a dream. Right now, there's a Starship Enterprise on there because the Trek track won last year. I want a flaming microphone and headset, people. So please, go get a medal. Sign up, say Digital Media Track sent you. But I know that what you're really here to find out about today is building fan communities. And we have an amazing group of people who have built communities that are outstanding. So I'm going to start to my left and let them introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about their fan communities.
Hi, everybody. I am Jynxie Rose. I'm a crafter. I'm a gamer. I'm a ukulele playing mermaid.
That's awesome.
I also have autism and ADHD, so my stream also reflects that. So some days I might be crocheting. Some days I might be playing Stardew Valley. You might also see me ghost hunting and panicking while running away from ghosts, while investigating them. You never know what you're going to find. I also sometimes run a stream called Beats and Bloops, where I play DMCA-free music, and we watch a lava lamp until it goes bloop. It sounds silly. My community is called the Cephala Squad. My mascot is a purple octopus named Levi, who loves to be a gamer, but he's not very good at it. Same, though.
I like that.
I do too. I'm Emily. I'm NerdyBody online. I run a Discord server for a very specific Mandalorian ship, the Dinmo ship. It's the best ship. It's fine. I brought water bottles for my Discord people.
That's amazing.
And so, yeah, the Discord's been running for about a year, and we have myself, Tyra, and 2 of our friends from the server that came, and we all came from all over. So, yeah. And I'm a cosplayer. I guess is my main claim to fame.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dana. I have many hats. I run several fan communities. I'm also a cosplayer, a voice actor, and I am the line and assistant producer for The Bop with Karen Ashley, the Yellow Power Ranger, and the executive producer and co-host for the Moana Nui podcast. And I do photography, cosplay photography, which for several conventions, and even was featured with DC Comics.
Nice. It's you.
Is it? I'm sure.
You're the problem.
I'm not sure. No. Hi, my name's Betsy. I'm also Asteroid Virus or Asteroid Cosplay, depending on where you're looking, but usually it's Asteroid something. I'm a cosplayer, I think, maybe, possibly. I do a lot of work with some volunteer costuming organizations, mostly in Star Wars. Who'd have guessed? I'm also a gardener and a gamer. I don't know. Yeah, that's me. Short and sweet.
In addition to being the silliest looking one on this panel,
Oh, no.
I'm Channing Sherman. I'm one of the co-founders of the Black Geeks of Dragon Con. It started as just a way to show some of the convention's diversity, and it has exploded into a lot more than that. I like to game, but because I have a job and bills, I don't get to do it as much as I'd like. And I am the least qualified person to be up here because these are some amazing women, but because I am not a trash man, I am not intimidated by it at all. So
Oh! He's our diversity panelist.
DEI, it works.
Well, we're going to start with you, Channing. Did you need a sip of water first?
I'm good.
I'll talk. I'm good at that. I'm a professor.
That was good.
Oh, I'm Tyra Burton, and I don't really run any fan communities, but I do all the social media for the digital media track. So if you hate our social media, keep it to yourself. So that's the community that I help run. So Channing, how did the Black Geeks of Dragon Con get started?
It has two origin stories. There's the origin of what I thought it would be, and then there's the origin of what it actually became. The origin of what I thought it would be, like a lot of origins, involves alcohol. I've always been a nerd / blurred / geek / whatever you want to call it. And when I finally found out about Dragon Con, I said, oh, I got to go check this place out. And I'm not a photographer, but I love taking photos. I'm trying to abbreviate the story some. When I get home, one of the obvious jokes is, oh, you must have been the only Black person there. And just as for fun, I said, no, here's a gallery. And I just kind of pulled some photos of Black people, honestly, just people of color in general. And when I posted it, it was just kind of well received. And it kind of started as a joke. Every Dragon Con I came to after that, whenever I saw a Black person, especially one in cosplay, I would chase them down. I'm surprised I wasn't put on a list. Like, especially female cosplayers. Like Dana and I have a friend, Royalty Cosplay, and I saw her one time. I just ran up behind her, and I'm sure, in hindsight, that was a terrible thing to do. But my cousins who started coming and a couple other friends, they said, instead of chasing these people down, why don't you just have a photo shoot? I just throw this out the window. I'm not doing this, and I'll tell you why I didn't want to do it later. And for 6 months, they kept poking and prodding, and you need to do it. And so, you know what? Let me show them. I'm going to go create a Facebook event just so they'll see how many people aren't going to show up. Created a Facebook event, and like the next day, we had like 60 people who said, yeah, I'm coming. I'm interested. I'm coming. So 2015, we had our first photo shoot. Because it was Facebook, only half as many people who said they were coming came. But still. But we went from 30 people at Heidi Harvey Park to the next year, we had about 100 on the small steps. I'm literally just coming from our last shoot where I'd be shocked if we didn't have about 300 or 350. So it just kept growing. And I thought it was just that. But since then, it's become advocating for more people of color on Dragon Con panels. It's become a chance for people to have a safe space online to show off their cosplay without being called Black Superman or Black Wonder Woman, or being told that they're too dark-skinned to play Storm or not dark-skinned enough to play Storm. So it's morphed into a lot of things that, again, if you had told me at the time it was going to morph into that, I'm ashamed to say I don't know if I would have done it. But yes, it's become a lot of that and more. It is very much a labor of love. But thankfully, I have people like Tyra, who keeps me motivated, sometimes with threats. And I have Dana, who has always been a big help when I've needed it. She's even been a photographer for us on a couple of occasions. And that's the abridged version. You don't want to know long.
So Betsy, I know you're in a lot of Star Wars ones. Pick one and tell us how it all came to be that you were in it.
Oh, how I'm in it. Well, let's see. So I'm a member of a couple groups. We'll just call them the Costume Clubs of Georgia because that's the simple way of explaining it. But my dad started bringing me to Dragon Con in 2013 when I was a kid. He had been going since, I don't know, early 2000s, and he would always bring us pictures. I started coming to Dragon Con in 13, and I would always see all the stormtroopers and the Vader and everybody else, and I thought it was super, super cool. And I'm like, oh my god, look, it's like they're straight out of the movie. And I always wanted to kind of be a part of that, but kid, you don't know what to do. But the older I got, I was like, oh, this isn't just people necessarily. There's an organization that goes around Georgia, and I later learned the entire U.S. and actually the entire world, that goes around wearing big suits of armor and all kinds of other crazy things that you don't have any business being out in public in. And they go around doing all kinds of charity work. So not only are you getting to, participate in the fandom that you love with people that hold just as much passion as you do for it, but you're actually getting to give back to the community in a way. And I was like, that's taking everything I've ever wanted and piling it all into a way I can give back to the community. So I really wanted to be a part of that, and the locals here in Georgia took me in with open arms, and it's been an absolute journey ever since. I've gotten to know people all over the world. It's a built-in family everywhere I go, and that's something I wouldn't trade for anything. So that's it.
I just love that her dad brought her to Dragon Con.
Yeah. He did. He only let me stay one day the first time, but
smart man.
That was probably for the best.
Yeah.
Now, Dana, as part of Moana Nui, you do a lot with persons of color and the specific as well, especially Hawaii.
Yes.
So tell us a little about how that all started.
Well, it started pretty much me and my co-host. We started a conversation of true lack of representation of Indigenous and Native Hawaiian in media. And even though with people of color, the BIPOC community, it's become more visible, it's still not as accepting in different realms of media. So we were talking about like what we would love to see, the conversations that needed to be had. And then the pandemic happened. And of course, being stuck at home, she decided, hey, since I'm stuck at home, I'll go ahead and launch this podcast to talk about some of the stuff I like. And she reached out. I was like, hey, why don't you guest co-host with me? I was like, sure. And then after that episode, she's like, yeah, you're not going anywhere. And from that, we expanded from having guest interviews. We have a monthly segment for mental health. We have a monthly segment on discussing about personal and professional development to help you navigate from asking how to ask for a raise to various other aspects. And then we also have a monthly segment to talk about sports. And the majority of our panel is women because we want to show women do like sports. We do have two guys. EEO, you have to make sure equal opportunity. And then we also have a segment that is called What You're Watching, about TV shows, new movies. And once again, women are majority. We have two guys in representation. And we wanted to have a wide range of topics. So no matter what you're looking for, you have something you want to tune in for. And even when the fires happened in Maui, we rallied behind that and helped raise money, collect items for the families there. And we're still continuing because they're still suffering and a lot of them are still displaced. So that's kind of how we got started and how we're still working along with both the Native Hawaiian community and the BIPOC community, but also giving highlights to women too, because they don't have much representation either.
Well, and I love the fact that you were the place to go to make sure if you wanted to help with Hawaiian relief, you could go to Moana Nui's website and you knew that they had the right information.
That's correct. We worked with the organizations that are boots on the ground that are local there that were going right into the areas where the fires were going right when it happened. So we wanted to make sure we gave them the support since it's usually about a week to a month delay before the federals come and help out with anything there.
That's true. So, Nerdy, I know your community, but they don't. And I actually don't know why you started it.
I didn't start it.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't. I came in late. I came in.
Okay.
I can tell you how it started.
Okay, let's go there.
Season 3 of The Mandalorian happened and people had eyes. So no, actually, the person that started the server is no longer part of the server. They for no
Not bad.
sketchy things.
Oh, okay.
No, they were just like, hey, bye, and we were like, okay, bye. So Kay was one of the admin and front runners for it, and after I had come into the server and been there for a few months, she approached me. She's like, you seem to talk to everyone and have a good relationship with everyone. Would you like to be an admin? And I said, that sounds like fun. And it is. It's a lot of fun. So, but no, we just we talk about The Mandalorian mostly, but then anytime a new Star Wars product comes out, we have a separate section of the server for that. We talk about everyday life. We talk about, everything under the sun, plus The Mandalorian.
And yours is all run on Discord.
Ours is all Discord. We do have a good core group of us that are fanfiction writers. So there's a separate thread for fanfiction and not safe for work fanfiction, gets its own little home. So when you're in the ship on AO3, you'll always see the server is commenting and reading each other's stuff and interacting that way. Yeah, that's awesome. Great.
So, Jynxie Rose, you want to tell us? I'm going to say it.
Cephalosquad. Squad.
I'm never going to be able to say that. I'm sorry. Just the C Squad. Tell us about it.
So, I, being autistic and ADHD, I have a lot of special interests, and I realized as I was trying to create what my imagery for my stream would be, I realized I kept coming back to octopuses. I just think they're really cool. I used to crochet octopuses, just the little amigurumis, and it was just my thing. And also branching out, being a mermaid, I was like, this is a great way to kind of, have my branding, have my theming already. I actually started as a PS4 streamer on Twitch. It was the quickest way to go live without having to have a camera. All you needed was a controller, a PS4, and a TV. So that was honestly where I got my start. I was not sure anybody would give half of a crap about watching some chick that you can't see play Stardew Valley. I was wrong. There's a lot of folks. I actually started in 2018. I had left my job that I was at for 16 years. It was a theme park in Central Florida. It was fun until it wasn't. So then I was like, okay, I want to do stuff I've never gotten to do before. I'm going to dye my hair blue and I want to play video games. Because I had lost who I was, because I was just the face of a corporate entity for 16 years of my life. So I did a lot of growing up that wasn't me. But I ended up collecting other like-minded fellow neurodivergent weirdos, honestly. And it turned into all of us kind of banding together when the pandemic started. A lot of the people who already watched me either worked at home or had the capacity to watch me while they were at work. And I had already started establishing that community. So when the pandemic hit, everybody was like, hi, what do we do? And I was like, well, I'm still here. So yay. I am now a PC streamer, and my community's still with me, even through a divorce and surgeries. I also have a lot of chronic illnesses. And it's one of those things that just since 2018, when you build your fan community, you all kind of do form it. I don't want to sound parasocial relationshipy, but you do kind of lean on each other in that friend fellowship community. So a lot of folks in the community have gone through gender transitions or self-realizations. I myself found out I was ADHD and autistic just since starting streaming. This is not something I grew up knowing. I'm also a lesbian, so I advocate for a lot of LGBTQIA plus representation, and I don't tolerate bullying of anyone in my stream. My stream is my kingdom, and I protect my peace. So that's how I used to have no backbone. I'm an Aquarian and I cry very easily, but that block button is so fast and fun.
Oh, it's so good.
You know, so especially my mods, like we'll all kind of be banding together and see who can hit the button first. If I win, I have to drink water. So it's just like, okay, fine, I'll hydrate.
Well, I think the ban button is a great tool to use while managing a community, especially online. But what I'm really interested in is what other tools or tips you have for helping to manage that community, because that's one of the hardest parts, especially as it gets bigger, Channing, and you don't expect it. So which end wants to start?
I mean,
You're up. You opened your mouth. Now
I did it.
You did it.
So a lot of ways to manage the community. So I love having a Discord. A Discord is a great place. It's like a message board, but also you can have a bunch of different threads for a bunch of different topics and ideas. My Discord has a lot of threads because most of us have ADHD and autism. So you can, it's a great place to announce when you're going to be live. Like lately, my life has been spicy because I moved from Florida to Virginia. All of my stuff is in a storage unit and my life is in a room right now. So, but my community has been with me through all that. We hang out on Discord. We chit chat about daily life. So having some place where your community can hang out, even if you're not there all the time, is fantastic because you get that extra community feel where it's not just I only see you when I go live. I usually end stream, go to my Discord. I'm like, thanks for hanging out, guys. It was great. Also, another tool, obviously, knowing what bot tools you have available to you, like SariBot on Twitch is really good. It's an extension that you can have for your Twitch that essentially will shut down your chat, put it on follower only mode, subscriber only mode if you want to. You can like tweak it so that if you do get like a hate rate or something, you just push a button, everything stops until you can figure out who the outliers are, who needs to go. And they also, Commander Root also has an extension that already pre-bans people who have either made alt accounts just to harass people, but it's constantly updated. So as long as you run that, it'll just automatically ban those problematic people, so you don't even have to worry about it. I also heavily use blocked words in my chat. So on Twitch, I block my full legal name, my address, anything having to do with me, because I have had the cops show up to my house before after a stream. That was terrifying. And I'm small on the scale, so don't think it's just big streamers. It was awkward opening up the door and seeing 6 police officers thinking that I was having some kind of problem. My problem was that there were 6 police officers on my front lawn. Yeah. That was terrifying. Just know what tools you have, like those, like SariBot, Commander Root, and use the block button as however you like.
Yeah. The block button. And on Discord, the timeout button.
Yes.
I really like timeout on Discord. It's just like you have spoken too many words that many people are upset about. Go sit in the corner.
Sit in the corner and think about what you've done and how you might bring you.
Yeah. Maybe you'll get ice cream. Maybe you'll get ice cream. Yeah, so like I said earlier, the reason that I'm an admin is because I was talking to everyone and had developed relationships with everyone. So for our server, we are invite only, so you can't just find us, and that's because before I started, there were trolls in the server. The fact that there are trolls online that will harass people still boggles my mind to this day. But there were trolls in the server who came in from, other ships because ship wars are a thing, even though they're all fake space people. It's fine.
It's true.
It's true. And so we went private because we had to weed out those people. And now that we're invite only, I am the person that vets all of the new members. So if people want to join the server, they have to reach out to me on Tumblr, and they have to know how to find me. It's like a very cloak and dagger. Who is Nerdy? Where is she? Where is the server? And when they find me, then I vet them, and we still get a lot of people that are like, "Hey, can I join the Dinbo server?" And I'm like, "You have never interacted with this ship, so no, come back to me, in a couple weeks."
I forgot Tumblr existed.
Right? Yeah, I only use it to vet people.
And I had no idea that's the way you were vetting.
That's how we vet. Yeah,
Okay.
come around. Yeah, but you everyone here came in before it was private, I think. And so the OGs came in when they saw part of season 3. I came in at the finale because I was like, they didn't kiss. I need someone to complain with. And then I found a whole community to complain with. And we still talk about it.
If we can't complain, what can we do?
Right. Come on.
But complain nicely, otherwise you get put in timeout.
You do.
I want that on a t-shirt.
I'm proud to say she hasn't put me in timeout.
I have not. Although we do send ourselves back to jail a lot.
That's true.
Yeah. So on our server, we have a jail, affectionately known as HJ. And when the HJ inmates get too rowdy in the main server, we get sent back to jail. It's very nice.
The conversation does not have a lot of off limits things. Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah. Everything is on the table.
I was like, no, you can't say anymore. It's not.
I'm not, but I'm saying everything's on the table.
Yeah, so they'll occasionally say, you should go there.
Yeah.
So how do you guys, especially since you're a podcast bringing people inbound, how do you help manage that community?
Well, both with the podcast and the fan communities, they're kind of different based on the platforms. With Moana Nui, we stream to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, now X, and
It's totally nice.
Twitter. It's still
It's still Twitter.
Yes.
Yes.
His
And-
mama called it Twitter. I'm gonna call it Twitter.
Yeah.
There you go. We use StreamYard to stream simultaneously to all those platforms, and we stream live. We do have people to kind of to look at things that come through, so that especially if it's coming, especially from Twitch, we have to put people, if we need to put somebody in timeout and everything. We haven't had to ban nobody. Knock on wood.
We've banned people from this track. I'm just saying.
But we have that, and then I'm an admin for the Atlanta Black Nerd Society to have, and it's on Facebook only, and it's to allow us for Black nerds, especially trying to find people of commonality, feel like a safe space, especially if you're not in a place or have family members that support your nerdism, that you have somewhere that you can talk about all the stuff that's coming out. And then we have meetups at cons and things like that, that you can meet others from the group. And that one you have to get, if you go, you have to apply to the group and you have to answer a series of questions for us to confirm. One, you live in Atlanta or surrounding areas. Two, if you are a Black nerd. And then three, if you will abide by the rules of the group. And if you're not, and you violate any of them, you will be kicked and banned out the group. It's very entertaining, some of the people who try to sneak into the group and how they fill out the questions. I'm like, oh, okay. It's just like, okay. And it's my favorite one was somebody was just like, oh, well, I don't believe in color. Because of that, I am a Black nerd. I'm like, That's not how that works. If you're going to reference this one as the social construct, then you can't say you don't believe in color. So yeah, it gets really entertaining on those that come through, but it is just to have that safe space for those to be able to nerd out, to not feel judged. Also, for it to be safe for those that are part of the LGBTQIA plus community, that you're not also judged, but you can still be a nerd and still be part of both communities. That one we have to do more of, rejecting people, or we've had people that before I implemented like the rules, had to clean house because I noticed some problematic when they asked me to be part of the group. I'm like, yeah, okay, you're gone. It's just like, yeah, you're. How did you get in this group? But it's definitely one of those to make sure it's a safe space for those. And then for Moana Nui, we wanted to safe space that no matter who came to color on the show, person of color, a woman, or someone of Native Hawaiian or Indigenous, they have a safe space to talk about the topics that they wanted to talk about, whether it's dealing with being marginalized or having to code switch in the corporate communities. We have those conversations that is needed. And for those that are not part of those communities, to understand those paths and those journeys that are part of those communities go through.
So Betsy, I don't know. Do you know how they manage the vast community that is there?
Well, there's a few ways. So with it being such a far-flung global group, and with it was created over 25 years ago. The organization was founded, I want to say 1996. I could be wrong.
Somebody will fact check us.
Somewhere in that range, about that time. And with that being in mind, we never have one mode of communication. To meet, we try our best. Don't always succeed. We try our best to meet everyone where they want to meet. Which means that we often have many balls in the air as far as communication pathways go. So we always have forums open and active. We almost always have Facebook groups, both public facing and private. And then we also do Discords, and depending on where you're at, a lot of people will just do private group chats, messenger groups, text channels, whatever. So with that, it comes with having the need for a lot of moderators in a lot of places with a lot of different skill sets. So I know that our Facebook group has, I want to say, 18 moderators at any given time. It's Star Wars. They're needed. They're absolutely needed.
No, I was saying wow because I know that's not a lot for Star Wars.
Well, that's for our local Georgia chapter. I will put it that way.
That's for Georgia.
That's for Georgia.
Bless their hearts.
I think we have, if you put the different groups together, because here we operate together, I want to say in Georgia we have something like 400 local Georgia members. But we get new people coming through all the time. So
the moderators really play a key role in keeping the community safe.
But it's a lot of work to make sure that all the information gets to all of the channels in the appropriate way for each one, and then getting moderators that are skilled with the different platforms to keep an eye all the time,
right? And
to nip it in the bud when stuff comes up, because it always does. It's humanity. We're like that sometimes.
If you don't think you need a moderator, you need a moderator.
Yeah.
If you don't need a moderator, I have questions.
Yes. If you don't need a moderator, you're on Reddit.
That's a very frightening place, but you can get to answers. So if anybody has questions, start lining up. I'm going to let Channing answer this question while y'all do that.
Can you repeat the question?
No, I can't. No, what kind of tools or tips do you use to manage your community?
So right now, and again, part of this is because of the unexpected growth, we're still just on Facebook, which while Facebook is a hellscape, we've managed to keep our little portion clean. Yeah, it's got skills. There are a lot of tools. Don't discount technology. I know AI is evil for most artists, but it can help out a lot. Facebook has some auto moderating tools, so we were able to filter out certain words.
Yes.
Um, We also have a community that is very good at self-policing. They won't start a flame war back and forth, but they will put people in check if they get out of place. That's a big help. The group is public, but we also have questions that people need to answer to kind of get a feel for them. I can say I think we started the Facebook group proper in 2016. It's been overwhelmingly positive. We've had a few bad actors who come in, and I'll say this, we've had about an equal amount of POC and non-POC bad actors. But overall, I think it's been good just because the community is strong. One thing I had to learn was trust your community and use your community.
Yes.
I was new when I started it. I knew myself and the 4 or 5 people in the room when we started the Black Geeks Dragon Con. So the idea of, okay, maybe I need to make some of these other people moderators. Well, I only know these people because I see them once a year at Dragon Con. So, but over time, as we've gotten to know people, then you find out, you know, who you can trust and where people vibe from. So people are protective of our community. Like for a lot of people, it's their safe space, it's their home. People want to protect their home. They want to keep outside influences. I've had people of color check other Black people of color. I don't know if you remember this one, Dana. There was somebody in there. He went very militant about our group and how we should probably be a little bit more isolated from non-Black. And they're like, no, that's not us. That's not me personally. I've never been a militant, deaf to the white person kind of guy. And we were like, no, that's not our group. We like our allies. We want them to come in. And it was people, right? And it was people in the chat who were like, "No, that's not us. You can go start your own group." But that's that's never going to be us. So use the technology that's available. It may take some reading some posts to figure out how it works because Facebook does not make anything easy. Find a platform that's right for you. Right now, we're only on Facebook. 1, because it's worked for us, and 2, because we're still a relatively small group. People keep wanting us to start a Discord, and maybe we might one day, but I want to get some people who will come in and help moderate that Discord.
Yeah. Discord is its own beast.
Correct.
I will say the first time Channing and I met in person and he had Black Geeks of Dragon Con stickers and he's like, he's like, do you want one? I'm like, can I have one?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a pasty white girl. And he was like, no, it's a party. And I mean, that's what I love about you.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of I had 2 rules when I started the group. 1, it was never meant to be a protest. It's a party. We were never saying, oh, Black people are great. Everybody's not Black is terrible. We're just trying to elevate and showcase that. And rule number 2 was I never wanted it to become a full-time job for those people that were helping me. I wanted to make sure that they could enjoy Dragon Con too, so that they wouldn't have to run to a panel at the last minute covered in sweat and out of breath. It was not a
Sorry,
Don. No. That was purely a Channing problem. But I never wanted it to become a full-time job, which is another reason why we actually had some more volunteers this year, because we finally realized it's getting to be too much for the 4 of us.
Hi, welcome to our show. You are now on the mic.
We love when our communities grow organically through brand awareness, word of mouth. Podcasts in particular are great outlets for content and social media posts, etc. I'd be curious to see what other marketing tactics and campaigns do you guys use to really reach out for your communities, or is it mostly just word of mouth?
Great question. So, Channing, do you want to go?
I can if nobody else does. I felt like I just talked. I didn't want to start mansplaining things.
I have a good feeling that these us would take care of.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
And you wouldn't do that anymore.
No, never. So word of mouth was our biggest thing. I've started attending more conventions lately and just kind of talking about it there, because obviously that's our group. That's what we're looking for. So when I'm at other smaller conventions, I'm bringing up the Black Geeks Dragon Con. You mentioned podcasts. I'm co-host of the Dragon Con Report, and I'm able to slip the link in there from time to time. But yeah, just get out the way you think your people might be and talk it up. We haven't done anything with Facebook ads or banners yet. We've done a couple of partnerships with some other panels here at Dragon Con. So there's a party tonight, and we've been helping them promote it, and they mention us. But yeah, word of mouth has been best for us, and just getting out in front of the people that we want.
I mean, it's Star Wars.
Right. Yeah. Exists.
But I mean, I will say, how did, like, Shane and I are both interested in being part of the Star Wars community in Georgia. How do you get people to find you? Because that can be hard.
So there's a couple ways that we go or attempt to go about it. Word of mouth via knowing someone who knows someone who knows someone is always going to be a semi-effective way of getting the word out. We all the different groups run our own public-facing social media pages that we try and get out there to just kind of show the community what we're doing, what cause we're giving to this year, where we're at, what we're doing, all of that. At events like this, like Dragon Con, a lot of our members all have little trading cards because kids love trading cards, and then they'll take them home to their parents and be like, look, and then they get to learn about our clubs because all of our information is going to be on the back of all those cards. So there's a couple ways that we get it out there, but the public-facing social media page is really one of our big ways. We get inquiries through that all the time, and from there I'm able to say, hey, oh, you're from Ohio? This is who you want to talk to. This is the person that's going to get your local information to you. Oh, you're from Georgia? Hi, I'm the person to talk to. What are you interested in doing? How can I help you get to where you need to be? So our forward-facing public pages are our biggest asset for bringing people in.
So how do you grow both Bop and Moana Nui? Because you have two really big podcasts, how do you help grow those audiences?
Well, with the Bop, that basically happens naturally because, I mean, you have Aisha, the Yellow Power Ranger, part of the panel, is one of the co-hosts. Our other co-host is Hilton George, the founder of BlurCon in the DMV. And then the third member of the show is Christy Renee, who before Karen Ashley became a Power Ranger, they were part of a group in the 90s called Crush. And that is one of her members of the group. The two of them are on there. So between their fans and their followers, that just happens naturally. And then of course, whenever they're at cons, we try to do an episode or a panel with them on there. For Moana Nui, it's word of mouth. We also come to a lot of cons to both interview guests, to kind of give a lot of the attendees who can't come to like Dragon Con or something, they can get to know the guests or see some of the panels that are going on here that makes them like, okay, next year I'm going to go. So that pretty much helps with that. And then we post about our upcoming episodes on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and the different platforms like that. And then we also collaborate with other shows, but also partner up with nonprofits that also are in the area. So we partner with CAPWA, which is the Center for Asian Pacific American Women, which they focus on the development not only for that community, but any women that can be part of their programs and mentorships that they have with other women that are in corporate nonprofit and own their own businesses, that you can get advice, guidance, and assistance, and a lot of training through them. And then we also partner with POL, and they're a nonprofit in Hawaii that helps provide health services to those in need in Hawaii. And I've definitely been boots on the ground with those in Maui, helping to make sure with testing to see if any of the fires are causing health issues with any of those residents that got caught in the smoke and everything there. So we partner with a lot of different organizations too, that a lot of these people that are working with those organizations get to know us because of that.
And I'm going to reiterate what you just said. For the digital media track, some of the best traction we've got on our live streams is through collaborations and through the guests that you bring in. So if you can bring in guests that have very similar audiences, it's a beautiful thing, because what happens is all of a sudden there are people joining your stream. You're like, oh my God. And then if they like you and they have a good time, which hopefully they will, they oftentimes will come back. So I think partnerships and collaborations, at least for us, has been a great way to grow it. And for my own personal stuff, it's been amazing to do that.
Yeah.
So you haven't, we're private.
Yeah.
So how do you want to grow?
I mean, so okay, we grew exponentially as soon as the video was done. And then it's been a subtle trickle in of people, but I'm finding that now that the season has been done for so long, that the we're re-looking into Star Wars content. We're seeing people that have just finished watching the season and are now looking at fan fiction because they have nothing else. So they're looking at that fan fiction content, or they're on Twitter, where Luna always is. So they're on Twitter, or they're on Tumblr, or they're on different services that they're finding the content, and then they're finding us through that. So it's a steady trickle right now. It was huge when the season was done, and like, God willing, we get a season 4 for the movie. We'll get more, but yeah, we want you to come if you want to come. But like, we're not going to go search for you because we're happy as we are. Don't bother us. Let us live in our little corner.
Jynxie, how do you grow your audience?
So I have 2 tips, honestly, for that. Make sure that whatever you decide is your handle, try to secure that on every social media platform that you use, all of them. So I am Jynxie Rose on every platform that I am a part of. So that one was big for me because I can just tell people, if you search my name, you will see where I am. I also secure the domain jynxierose.com. So I do have my own website. It's a beacons, like a link tree kind of situation, which works very well. Always having business cards, especially for something like Dragon Con, where you're like, hello, fellow nerd, please take this. It's shiny on one side. It helps when you're in the panel lines going,
Or the elevators.
yes. Yes. Especially the Marriott ones. I'm in a corner. Don't bother me. So those little tips will help. The other one for me, honestly, was word of mouth. So Twitch has this wonderful thing that when you end your stream, you have the ability to raid another channel. Basically means you're taking your party, you're going on an adventure, and you're dumping them all off on a new stream. And sometimes those are great, sometimes they are terrifying. But so a lot of times, like, I'll meet a new neurodivergent weirdo that plays Stardew Valley because they watch me play Stardew Valley, and then we'll go like raid their stream, and then they'll be like, oh my gosh, my other friend, they also play Stardew Valley, they're adorable. And then it just kind of becomes like the meeting of new communities. So like my community is made up of like 8 communities because we all just kind of met each other, and we all kind of just raid party around to each other. It's kind of cute and wonderful.
It's a nerdy snowball.
It's a little nerdy snowball.
I love that. Next up.
Hello. So I am part of an admin team for a pretty large podcast Facebook group. So this podcast, the 2 hosts were married, and they were like kind of actively getting divorced during the run of the podcast. Like, they were super like professional about it and like extremely normal, way more normal than I would be. But we had a lot of hard stuff come up with parasocial relationships, and like people making comments that were like wildly inappropriate, and the admin team was kind of like, I don't know how to handle this. So I wanted to know how you guys deal with parasocial relationships and inappropriate things like that.
I didn't mean to
Sorry to bring it down.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. My last question's a downer too. Do you want to? Because I had a feeling.
Yeah.
You're on Twitch, and yeah.
So it's fun being connected to your community all the time, say via like something like Discord, which is 24/7. It's available. The unfortunate thing is that also makes you very approachable. It's because you are connected all of the time. Thankfully, I haven't had too much, but I'm a blue-haired lady on the internet, so I've had my fair share. It sucks because you never know where that line is going to be, because like, who doesn't like getting a compliment? Like, hey, I really loved your stream. It's been really great. And then like you'll have a little bit more, and it'll be a little bit more and a little bit more. So there was actually one community I was a part of, and one of the guys started messaging me, and he was an admin for their particular group. And then some of the comments that were made, I was like, number one, I'm a lesbian, and number two, what? So I brought it to their the channel themselves, and she went, "Ooh, I never knew that he would do something like that. I'm going to keep an eye on it." Turns out, he had been doing that all over Twitch. So like when like 20 ladies came forward, like, "Hey, this guy is kind of a big creep," she was like, "Oh my god." So honestly, believing people when they come to you and say, "Hey, there's somebody in the community that's kind of being a creep," being okay enough to say, "Hey, this is my boundary. You're kind of crossing it. Just wanted to make you aware. If they cross it anyway, you're done." I am a people pleaser chronically. It's a problem, and so it makes me like anxious to set my boundary or be rude, or I don't want to be mean. Be mean. Yeah. Be mean every day of your life. You don't know these people in real life.
Yeah.
And it might suck for like 20 minutes, but then you will never see them again unless they harass you on another social media platform. So honestly, just know your boundaries, know what you're comfortable with. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I have a moderator thread that's private just to me and my moderators, where I can come to them and go, "Hi, is this weird? Is this appropriate? Is this creepy?" And they can go, that's something to watch out for. Or, "No, I think they were just neurodivergent and they didn't know how to ask the question." I'm like, cool, tight. So have that check-in, know your boundaries, and stick to them.
Yeah. We also have an admin thread. Look behind the curtain. It's called The Forge. I know. So we also have one to check in, because we also have neurodivergent people in the thread, and a few of them are quite vocal and get into their tangents, and their triggers come up, and we'll like have a quick aside with everyone and be like, "Do we need to put this to bed right now, or can we let it go?" And so we'll always check in on that, and also believing your members. We had a member come to us because they were asked to do a fan fiction or a fan art by someone, and the request was very specific, and the request became very inappropriate very quickly, and they got really uncomfortable, and so they were like, and their biggest thing was, "I don't know if they're doing this to other people, so I want you to be aware," and they made us aware. We put a blanket statement out to the group and said, "This has been brought to our attention. If anyone else has had this happen to them, please let us know." Several more people came forward and let us know, and that the person in the middle of it was removed immediately.
You jettisoned them, didn't you?
Out there. Yeah. And we are also 18 plus.
Yes.
Our server, so we keep that like right off the bat of like, you have to be 18 plus to join us anyway. So.
Anything from this end of the table?
I would just echo what she said about investigate the stuff.
Yeah,
Somewhere in society, there was a point where we decided that believing accusations and trying to protect the reputation of the person being accused were two different things. But you can do both. Yeah, you can do both. When somebody says, "Hey, I think this person's doing X, Y, Z," it doesn't matter how well you know them, that they wouldn't do it to you. Doesn't mean that they wouldn't do it to other people.
Exactly.
So yeah, I would just co-sign on the investigating thing.
That's really good. I mean, I think that's really important, and boundaries. I think we can all agree. And I'm a Southern woman. It's really hard for me to be mean, but I need to work on that. Channing.
So I'm also the practice dummy for being
Yes,
mean?
you are. Because I have to live with my husband, so I can't practice.
Makes sense.
In my experience, as you get like a group of people with similar interests or purpose in mind, you start getting ideas of, oh, what if we also start thinking about this, or working towards this, or include this in our community? How do you kind of balance what is like the purpose and the core of the community, to where you don't like expand too much to where it's just, you know, diluted, versus like sticking to one thing and all of a sudden you don't have the power to do more or engage with more people?
I'll answer that.
Oh, good.
As far as with the communities, whether it's the shows or our fan communities, my first thing is when they bring it to them, like, oh, that's, one, show appreciation that you're thinking of something to help grow. My next part is, are you interested in volunteering?
Yeah.
Because I have noticed that 9 out of 10 of the people, and sometimes it's 10 out of 10, just want to give you ideas, but nobody to help. So I am very quick to say, are you willing to volunteer? If they say no, it's like, okay, if you can find someone who can help with that, we will see how we can make that happen. Until then, right now, we do not have the capacity to be able to take anything else on for the group or for the show or anything like that. So that's my nicety way of saying it. I'm not being overly mean, but at the same time, I'm bringing a little, politeness to them, that let them down gently.
Yeah, and
I think that's awesome.
And I think it's also worth mentioning, like, I've been thinking about our group and its growth, and we've had some ideas for things people would like us to see. You have to factor in your mental health and your time and money, because I know a lot of things that people have asked us to consider doing would require money, and that is something that we don't really have. We don't really do a lot of paid events or anything like that. So it is great to have ideas, and we encourage people to submit ideas too. But whenever we're considering them, we have to think about our bandwidth to actually be able to not just implement them, but implement them well. You don't want to take an idea and half butt it, because I know we can't encourage. You don't want to have a half butt an idea.
Awesome. So this is going to be our last question. Thank you for being our last question.
Hey.
Yeah, hello. So I've been a part of a bunch of different communities, and unfortunately, I've seen a lot of them kind of grow big and then they completely die off. Is there any kind of tips or any kind of tricks that kind of prevent them from dying off, or is it just kind of the nature of the beast sort of thing, where it's a hit and miss?
So I'm going to guess that 25 years you might have an insight.
Right.
Don't burn out your mod team.
Yeah,
Oh,
right there.
yes.
Exactly.
Sometimes having more mods will help you in the long run. Occasionally you will get to the point where it is going to feel like too many cooks in the kitchen, but then something controversial is going to happen and you're going to be grateful for them. So really just making sure that you don't burn yourself out if you are in a position of leadership / control, and just making sure that the people you are putting in charge of taking care of things also don't get burnt out, because a burnt out staff team is going to burn the whole house down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my husband and I are part of an organization, and by the time you get through the leadership team, you leave because you're worn out, you're burnt out because you've been doing it for so long. So I think that it's awesome.
Yeah.
And find new blood.
Yes.
And you've got to find new people, because if you can't find, and they don't have to be younger people, they just have to be new people,
Yes.
because they'll bring excitement, but they'll also help make the people that have been there for a while excited as well.
Exactly.
It's like, we need new stories.
Yes.
So
Yeah. And then also poll your community, because if you're still always doing the same old things, then they're going to get bored and start looking elsewhere for something that's going to keep them engaged. So poll them occasionally to say, hey, what things do you think we can improve? What things do you think, we're lacking? And then then you and your admins and your mods can look at that and see what's feasible that we can take on, and what things that it's like, yeah, unless we have money or we can get a team of 100, that's not happening, or we win the Mega Millions.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Wonderful.
And honestly, sometimes the fizzling out is just the natural course of whatever project or show that people are working on.
Yeah.
And sometimes people stop streaming because they realize it's not their jam, and that's perfectly valid. That's their journey. The other part of it is real life gets in the way.
Yes.
Like I said, last September, a week after DragonCon, I left my partner of 13 years. I moved away from Florida and I moved to Virginia. My life got real spicy real fast. So I haven't been streaming nearly as much, and I have guilt about that. But just be real with your community. They will support you. I mean, they've supported me through 6 surgeries, a divorce, moving across country, or 800 miles, or however much
It's close enough.
Close enough.
Yeah.
And they've always been there just to be like, girl, seriously, you're good. And even when I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm a trash human being. Oh my God. They're like, just take a breath. You're great. So when you find your people, they will still support you even if you're not producing that content, or if you slow down your content or your content changes. I literally played Stardew Valley for like 2 years straight. I got so tired of Spring Year 1, I couldn't play Stardew Valley anymore after that many times of playing Spring Year 1. So sometimes your community will change if you change your game. But it's kind of a rotating door. People come in, people come out. It's a free-flowing kingdom, really. And so it's let it kind of evolve, fizzle out, whatever it needs to do. But every course of that is absolutely valid, and you should be proud of it.
Absolutely. And on that note, I'm going to let our panelists tell you where you can find their groups if it's appropriate, and where you can find them, and if they've got anything left at this thing we call DragonCon. So Channing, the man of the hour, go for it.
All right. This is my last official DragonCon panel of about 6. Woo, it was a long weekend.
Do you like that attending professional?
Yeah, this is my first year with attending professional status, and it feels good. I'm gonna be honest. The groupies were a surprise. I didn't know we got groupies. That was a very nice touch.
We get GroupMe?
Groupies.
Oh,
Groupies. Yes.
we don't have GroupMe.
Oh, maybe that's just me. But no, you can find me in my personal channels. I'm Channing Sherman on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, but I don't do any dances. My group, if you look on Facebook, we're Black Geeks of DragonCon. Don't let the name fool you. Allies, you're always welcome as long as you act right. The only thing I have left at DragonCon tonight, there is a party on the diversity track called Unleash Your Inner Hero. So if you see me at the Hyatt tonight in the Hanover room, I won't be dancing, but I will be leaned up against a wall looking real cool. So feel free to come up and say hello.
You can find the organization I work with, well, one of them, on our forums online at 501st.com or rebellegion.com, or if you're interested in finding out all the other URLs that I'm not going to rattle off here, we have a table in the Marriott with all of them with QR codes, nice and easy. You can find us on our websites, on social media. We are Georgia 501st or Bespin Base, Rebel Legion. Instagram, Facebook, forums. That's most. There's Twitters, but we don't use them anymore. Or you can find me at Asteroid Cosplay on Instagram, and I can point you places.
For myself, you can find Moana Nui podcast, Moana like the princess, Nui N-U-I podcast on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. As Sherman mentioned, all allies are welcome as long as you act right. For that, we love to have you engage and learn from the community, and then take some tidbits that you can reflect, use yourself. For the Bop podcast is found on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, and you can connect there. Everybody is welcome there. And if you want to reach out to me directly, you can find me on all social media as Danique, DANIQUE events. That's where you can see my photography, event planning, voice acting, all that stuff.
She literally does everything.
She's awesome.
She's the Ryan Seacrest of the group. Sorry.
That was awesome. He turned you into a white man.
Oh my God, I'm a terrible ally.
I'm the NerdyBody cosplay or NerdyBody everywhere online. I'm easy to find, and I will not tell you our Discord name, but you can find me on Tumblr.
Hi, everybody. You can find me at www.jynxierose.com. I also have my my business cards with me if you end up wanting to snag one on your way out. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having us today.
And I'm Tyra Burton. I'm sorry, I'm going to stop you from clapping. You can find me at tyraburton.com. You can find everything for the digital media track through that QR code, and join us on our Discord, because that's where the conversation happens between the cons. But we also have something called Be Awesome Together, which is our live stream on Wednesday nights, where me, Charles McFall, or some random person that I picked up off the street takes over our stream and talks about things. And I want to give a shout out, just in case they're out there. Frack, we love you. We laugh a little bit. We love you too. And Mora, if you're out there, they're from our server.
Yeah.
Thank you all. We appreciate you.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will.
If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then, when they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves a republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language was banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.
So if you put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course, versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course, cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will.